Hello everyone, welcome back to Aisha Scrum platform. In today's topic, we're going to be discussing Scrum Master Interview question and answer. So I'm going to be asking like 5 questions and hopefully I'll give my own answer to it. And mind you, this is my own answer and how I will answer this question if I'm in the interview space. And let's get into it. The first question I'm going to be asking is, what agile mean to you? So if I'm asking that question when I go to an interview, I'll say that when it comes to agile, for me, it's a way of life. It's the way how I act, it's the way how I react, and the way how I think. And it's being flexible, being open-minded, being willing to accept others, work together as a team, and basically think value. Think value to me in overall, that's agile mean to me. But it's very important to know that when it comes to agile, a lot of people think that attending Scrum events and basically doing the agile part, which is all part of the Scrum events and doing all of that, it basically mean that yes, I'm doing agile. But basically, it's the mindset, the way how you think, the way how you behave in the group, and you must first be agile. Meaning like the way how you act, how I influence my team, how I motivate my team, how I empower my team to deliver value to me. That's what being agile is in a sum. All right, so that's question. And the next question I'm going to be asking is, how would you help your team develop the agile mindset? This is a very important question, right? Because we always say that, oh, you must first be agile before you do agile, right? As these so very popular terms used like almost in everywhere. So how do you get your team, let's say that are new to agile or they've been doing agile, how do you ensure that your team do not still have the waterfall mindset, and where you get them to develop the agile mindset? As a Scrum Master, how can you guide your team to develop the agile mindset? So this is a very good question, and if I'm asked this in an interview, I'm going to be saying that it's very important that we focus on being a servant leader. And as me, the Scrum Master, powerless leader who lead and supports my team and guide them to work together collectively, that eventually will get my team to slowly go from thinking about working in silos to now working together as a team. And the mindset question I will always ask my team is to ask my team that, how do we collaborate? How are we communicating? Is it a safe environment for us all to work together and feel like it's okay to speak up? Are we courageous enough to say that, oh my God, this item is too big, we cannot complete in this sprint? Are we open, right? Going back to the Scrum values. Are we open to see that we can actually speak up? Do we acknowledge one another in the team? Or are we just so focused on our own particular item to getting that item to done? Do we have that environment that where we accept new challenges, where we promote taking on tasks, where we investigate together as a team and see that the sprint goal is all of our responsibility instead of just one person's responsibility? Are we seeing to have every user story having acceptance criteria is something that's together responsibility of the whole Scrum team and not just the product owner? Are we seeing that our goal and our commitment is something that together we can influence and ensure that we meet our goal? Do we accept feedback? Are we open for feedback? Are we asking for feedback? And at the same time too, are we open to accept change? When it comes to different way of trying things, going through experiment and learning from sprint to sprint, are we open to adapt to those action items and improve as a team? For me as a Scrum Master, am I too focused on every user story in the backlog being assigned to someone, or am I ensuring that the item is picked up as it's being completed together as a team? Am I focused on saying that you, one person, you'll be working on this item and that person must pick up that item? Instead, I'm seeing that the team can be paired and work together and complete this item. So am I also being a good example? Am I living and abiding by the agile values and principles? Or am I just preaching about it, right? Because saying something is one thing and acting is another thing. Am I influencing my team? Am I asking for feedback? Am I like showing that I'm also, as a Scrum Master, I can improve? Also having the growth mindset where we are open for feedback, willing to change, continuously learn from our experience, and seeing that one person's failure is everyone's failure, and seeing that one person's success is all of us success as a team. So all of these questions and all of these behaviors and environment will get my team to have the big agile mindset. That I've answered that question. So the next question I'm going to ask too is very popular question about metrics. Last video I did a whole lecture on the burn down chart. If you know what, you see that video. And please, if you find my valuable, please like and subscribe to Aisha Scrum platform. I'm going to continue to add value to help us grow together as an agile practitioners. All right, so the next question is, if a dev team give an estimate of a 21 story points, as a Scrum Master, what do you say to that? So that's the question, right? So let's say, for example, if I'm asked that question in an interview, and I'll be like, okay, if I observe, right, because we don't participate in estimation during sprint planning or maybe backlog refinement when the dev team is estimating. As a Scrum Master, we've helped facilitate that event, and we help ensure that there is collaboration and communication within the team. So if I observe or I see that the dev team assigned the user story 21 story points, to me, that's something that it's that raises an alarm. When it comes to story points, is the effort we take to complete the item and how large it is. These are the two huge factors that affect how much a story points can be given to a PBI, a user story. So in that case, if I see a user story that's given to a 21 story points, so that's something I'm asking the team. Oh, by the way, I see so and so person assign the task of 21, right? So I'm asking the team, tell me about you picking that item of 21. Let's have more conversation about it. So there might be, maybe there's some unclarity on the user story, or there's some missing item, or maybe like the person is not experienced in doing the item. So it's to prompt conversation around that user story so that we can get everyone in alignment and know what's the requirements asking of us. That's the first thing I will do. Hopefully at the end, we're going to come to a consensual agreement with those story points in each PBI. So let's now say that in this particular case, the developer explained, or I didn't understand this, then hopefully the people that voted a lesser estimate will also explain why, right? And create that conversation. That can be one scenario. Another scenario can be the ticket is too large, right? It's too big. It's too big that there's deemed it as something that needed more effort to complete it. So in that case, I'm looking at the product owner and asking the question, oh, by the way, this ticket is voted at 21. So what do you think? Do we think that maybe we can further break this user story, and maybe we can use the spider technique? The S standing for spike, the P is path, I interface, D data, and R roles. Maybe we'll use the spider technique to help further split this user story. So hopefully we can split the user story to make it better so that they can easily work on it. So it's an alarming in overall thing when you go to an interview and you're asked about a big story, a big estimate on a user story. That's something that's concerning, and that's something you as a Scrum Master, you have to prompt and do more further investigation and ask more questions. And let's say the PO said, oh yeah, we can further break it down. So then that's good, right? So then we can put it back to the product backlog, split the user story, and then we'll now further re-estimate the user story. So that's how that's different scenario I'm gonna answer that question. The next question is, what would you do in the first 30 days when you are hired for this position? Sometimes this is a very popular question, right? You'll be asked, what would you do if you are given this position for the first 30 days? What would you do as a Scrum Master? So that's a very good question, right? Thank you for that question. And what I would do when I first join a company, or what I've done in the past when I first joined a company, or what I've done when I just joined my current company, focus for the first 30 days is to build trust, right? I know it sounds like that, but that's the truth. The first 30 days when I join a company is to learn the product, one, build trust, and get to know the environment, and also learn why my team are doing things the way how they are doing it. It's very, very important. Yeah, it's true we will observe, right? Because now I'm going to further detail down what we mean by observing, right? So I always see people be like, oh, I'll observe. Yeah, so how would you observe? So when it comes to observing, you are focused on building a relationship. So how do you build a relationship? By doing your one-to-ones, right? You're doing this interview. You are not only interviewing your team members, you are also like do your one-to-ones to leadership, stakeholder, and anyone that have a stake or part of that product. You are building that relationship and connection with them. Next thing you also do is to learn about the product. Sometimes the user story itself is not enough for you to learn about what your team is working on. So where you can actually get more information to learn about what the team is working on, you look at that in either sometimes in the wiki page. Sometimes I know people have it in PowerPoint still, or it's documented somewhere. And that's something you ask either your manager, your product owner, the release train engineer, whoever that's in a leadership position. You can ask, oh, what is the product vision? What is the product goal? Where can I get the full roadmap of the current product we are working on? So I'm asking all of these questions so that I can get a full detail about what product my team is working on. It is very, very important to learn about that. Then the next thing I'm also investigating is to see why are we doing the way we're doing, right? Because it's very important to know that every company do Scrum differently, or they do Agile differently. We all know about the mindset and the Scrum guide and all of that. I'm joining these Scrum events like the daily Scrum and the meeting. I am observing and seeing what the team, how the team are acting, how are they communicating, who is the loudest in the team, who is the observer, who is the quiet one, right? I'm taking notes on all of that to see how I can come in and add value. And remember, that's not the time to implement change. The first 30 days is not the time for you to implement change, but it's the time for you to understand in detail about your team and gain trust. And at that moment, I'm writing down my anti-patterns, writing down my gaps, just to further get details that can help me later on as I gain their trust, where I can slowly help implement these changes, slowly and little bit at a time. Very, very important. So the first 30 days that I will do, connect with my team, connect with stakeholders, connect with the leadership, and look at the team, why they're doing what they are doing, and also get the better understanding on the product the team is working on. I hope that helped answer that question. So the next question I'm going to ask is, among all the Scrum value, which one do you think is important? This is a very tricky question, right? Because you're asked among all the Scrum values. For those of you that don't know the Scrum value, I know most of you already know that anyway. The Scrum value, which is the focus, commitment, courageous, openness, and respect. So among all of these Scrum values, which one is the most important to you? So if I'm asked this question in an interview, I am not just jumping to choose one of them. Like, okay, I'm going to choose focus. Yeah, there's a reason why the Scrum Guide have all those 5 lists as the most important thing for every Scrum team to base their foundation on. So I'm not going to go to interview and they're going to make me choose one of them. So if I'm asking this in the interview, I'm telling the interview, thank you for this question, but by the way, I think this is very important for me to say that all these 5 values are very, very important to me, because I see that it's very important for my team to be focused on our product goal, on our sprint goal. Very, very important. And we cannot go by committing to our sprint goal or committing to all this user story to the sprint planning and we are not focused. So we have to be focused, and then the commitment, and I promote us getting our team to be committed stuff by me being transparent and open and describing and getting all the whole team understand our requirements, right? Understand our definition of done. So by slowly, as we are committing to this work, at the end, the goal is for us to meet our commitment. And also would like my team to be courageous, whereby if they see and they notice anything that's going on throughout the sprint, the team should be courageous enough to speak up and say something about it. Because the goal is for us to create an environment where it's safe for us to learn and grow, where we're going to continue to inspect and adapt. So I think that also is very, very important. And for us to be respectful, very, very important for us to be respectful. I don't think we can be journeying together as a team where we meet in all these events and we meet throughout the day, and for us not to have respect. So that's why we have our working agreement where we all come together and agree on things respectfully, and we added it there to have everyone to feel part of the team where we respect one another. So all of this Scrum values is very important for every Scrum team to have. So I must say that I must choose all 5 of them. So it's very I'm gonna just stick all 5 of them and say that I'm choosing all 5 of them because all 5 of them are important to me, and I'm just far important to every Scrum team out there. So that's all the 5 questions I have for you guys today about this Scrum interview Q&A. So if all this Q&A is helpful and something that's beneficial, let me know. I can do more of them. So just to know that when you go to interview, it's very important for you to base this answer on your own experience. And sometimes this question can be scenario based. Sometimes this question can be yes or no question. And sometimes too, you have to go back to your previous experience and relate it to that. And then you now give your situational based answer based on how you are asked this question. So you have to it's very important for you to know the difference between an open-ended question, a yes or no question, and when they're just asking you one thing, like they ask you, are you familiar with Jira? Yes. They didn't ask you to describe Jira, they just asked you, are you familiar with Jira? Yes. So very, very important to know that. So how have you used Jira? Then you now explain, because that's an open-ended question. You know, oh, I've used Jira every morning with my team. I showcase my board. I open my burn-down chart to give a quick summary about the team. For us to know where everyone stands, I share my Jira board so my team can see where we all stand. So we are being transparent throughout our meeting. So it's very, very important to know that. So these are the tips I have for you when it comes to interview. So please, if you find this my channel valuable, please like and subscribe to Aisha channel. I appreciate all the love and support from you all. My goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers by next year of August. So help me achieve this goal. See you all again next time. Thank you very much.